Give me Isaiah chapter 30, start around verse 8 in the NLT. Because like the brother was saying, what do you black people and Hispanic people in America, what do you have to be happy about? What do you have so great going for you that you can afford to dress up as damn Mickey Mouse and walk down the street? Right. One of our own just got murdered. Now ask yourself the question, why don't the police murder Arabs at the rate in which they murder black and Hispanic people?
That's right.
Why don't they murder Asians at the rate in which they murder black and Hispanic people? Because there's a saying that people only do to you what they think that they can get away with. And time has shown that black people and Hispanic people, we let everybody get away with wronging us.
That's right.
But if an Arab was to get murdered by one of the police, guarantee you Muhammad or Habibi would be blowing up the damn precinct, man.
That's right.
But our people, we don't. The problem is we love the people who hate us, and we hate each other. Right? Arabs love each other. Nobody loves Arabs more than Arabs.
Right.
Nobody loves Indians more than Indians. Nobody loves Asians more than Asians. And nobody loves white people more than black people, and nobody loves black people at all.
Right.
Nobody loves Hispanic people at all, not even each other. Give me Amos 2 and 6. Read this real quick.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 8. Now go and write down these words. Write them in a book.
So this God tells Isaiah, write down these words in a book. Now isn't there a saying, if you want to hide something from a nigga, you put it in a book? And that's why you so-called black and Hispanic people have the highest illiteracy rate. The lowest literacy rate, meaning most of y'all can't even read. Most of y'all can't even read, and let alone something called reading comprehension. You might be able to read, but you understand what it is that you're reading? Most of y'all do not. Because most of y'all spend half your time on TikTok, dressing up as a damn clown, walking down the street. Go ahead.
They will stand until the end of time.
It said they will stand to the end of time. Go ahead.
As a witness that these people.
It said that what?
That these people,
so-called black and Hispanic people, these people are what?
Are stubborn rebels.
Are what?
Are stubborn rebels.
Are stubborn rebels. Now, who do you rebel against? You don't rebel against your slave master. You don't. Now, think about this. On slave plantations for so-called black and Hispanic people throughout the Western Hemisphere, the slaves would outnumber the master like 70 to 1. How is it that you would outnumber your slave master 70 to 1 and you were still a slave the next day? How is that? You couldn't enslave Asian people like that. They'd have been started rebellion. Why? Because you love to be enslaved to white people. You can't convince me otherwise. You love being under the thumb and under the boot of your damn oppressor. Go ahead.
That these people are stubborn rebels.
You rebel against God, though. That's the point. You rebel against the words of God. And it's going to show you how you go against the words of God. Go ahead.
Who refuse to pay attention to the Lord's instructions.
You refuse to pay attention to the Lord's instructions. How do you know who the Israelites are? Just go to the people who refuse to listen to God. Because I guarantee you, if we were out here to teach all people, we would have every single white person, every single Asian, every non-black or Hispanic person wearing fringes and not eating pork ever again. But because we're sent to you so-called black and Hispanic people and you think you know so much, you don't even know what color you are. You're walking around calling yourself black. You're walking around calling yourself Puerto Rican or Puerto Riches. That's not an identity. You're Puerto Rican. The Spanish called it Puerto Rico because all the goddamn money they stole off of you, man.
That's right.
And you're calling yourself that. How stupid do you sound? Imagine a Jewish person, because in the internment camps, the Nazis used to they used to make sure they took all the earrings and the watches and the diamonds that they had. Imagine if they start calling, the damn Jewish person start calling themselves the Puerto Riches because of all the money that the Nazis stole off of them. You'd make fun of them. Imagine if the Jewish people started celebrating the independence of Nazi Germany. You would make fun of them. But you silly ass black and Hispanic people just got done celebrating the 4th of July. What were you black people doing during the 4th of July? What were you Hispanic people doing during the 4th of July? You were picking cotton somewhere. You were chopping down sugar cane, but you don't celebrate that. You ain't celebrate Juneteenth. You don't celebrate anything that God says. But anytime white people tell you to jump, you just say how high. That's why you celebrate Thanksgiving. What were you doing? What was Thanksgiving about? Oh, what? Here come the settlers, and they had a good dinner. And they had nice turkey with the Native Americans. Is that what really happened? This whole country belongs to Native Americans. Ask them if they had a good Thanksgiving.
Right.
What do they have to give thanks for? That they stole their entire land? That they murdered them and put them on reservations? What is a reservation? What is a reservation? It's just a ghetto. It's because you're all damn near extinct, so we're going to put you on this reservation so you don't go all extinct, man. And what do you black and Hispanic people do? You just keep going on as if nothing's going on. You just keep going about as if you're not in the worst crisis that the world's ever seen. Keep going.
They tell the seers, stop seeing visions. They tell the prophets, don't tell us what is right.
They say, don't tell us what's right. Let me ask y'all something, family. Where's Caesar? We got Caesar. Where's Caesar? We got white Jesus sign or no? Yeah? Let me ask you something real quick, family. What's going on, brother? Who is this on this sign? Who can tell me? I know one of y'all can hear me. Brother, who is this on this sign right here, brother? One of y'all brothers tell me, who is this right here? Without all the horns, who is that? Yeah, who is that? Who is it, brother? You tell me. So without the horns, I look like Jesus, right? But that ain't Jesus. What did Jesus look like, brother? He looked like you? Okay, so what do you think his auntie and his uncles and them look like? They look like us. So guess what? All the great men in the Bible, they are our people, so-called black and Hispanic people. We are God's chosen people. That's why we invest in everything that we do. Nobody can run like we can run. Nobody can dance and make music like we can. Everybody wants to be us. So why are we on the bottom if we're so great? We got to ask ourselves this question. It's because God gave us commandments in the Bible that if we obey, we would be blessed. If we disobey, we would be cursed. So we got like flyers, everything? Flyers? Real quick, brother, before you go, take a flyer. Because I want you, when you get a chance, brother, to do some research on who we are and how special we are. Because if we understood, if every single one of us, how special we were, we wouldn't treat each other the way that we treat each other. There wouldn't be drill music. What is drill music? Rap about what? Killing each other. Is there any other race on the planet Earth? Can I go to Saudi Arabia or Uzbekistan and hear about people in damn Uzbekistan rapping about killing each other? Making songs about it, degrading their women? They won't allow it. Not only do we allow it, but we promote it, we propagate it, we celebrate it. We celebrate making music about killing children. That's killing so-called black and Hispanic children. And when a brother put out a mixtape or he put out a snippet of a song, you on the comment board with the fire emojis, keep going. To the top, you got the damn rocket ship emoji. There is no other race of people on the planet Earth. Show me one that makes music about murdering their own. Not a single one. Give me Psalm 44. Hold that, matter of fact. Watch this. Get Amos 2 and 6. Next time somebody said that we're not God's chosen people, the Israelites, you tell me what other race of people would do this right here. Read it loud out. Amos 2 and 6.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 2 and verse 6.
Y'all tell me who this sound like. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Israel.
So this is a punishment on the Israelites. For 3 transgressions of Israel.
And for 4. I will not turn away the punishment thereof.
So God's getting ready to punish the Israelites. Can y'all hear me loud and clear? Are we good? Okay, so why is God getting ready to punish us? Let's read about this. And as we read this, you tell me who it sounds like. Who does it sound like would do this right here?
Because they sold the righteous for silver.
It said they sold each other for silver and what?
And the poor for a pair of shoes.
For what?
For a pair of shoes.
We were selling each other out for a goddamn pair of Jordans, man. That's how you know that we are the Israelites. You'll kill each other for a damn pair of Jordans. A nigga step on your damn sneakers, you might want to kill him. What happened? A white boy step on your... Oh, excuse me, sir. Sorry. You were selling each other out even back then. Who else does that? Is the Asian going to sell each other out for a goddamn pair of sneakers? Nope. So-called black and Hispanic people sure will, though. How many times do you see that on the news, a brother gets smoked over some goddamn shoes, man? Because they sold the poor for a pair of shoes. That's what our people do. So meanwhile, the entire planet Earth, give me Jeremiah 12 and 9 of the GMT, hold that. The whole planet Earth is hell-bent on oppressing you. And instead of you uniting and saying, you know what, we should do something together, we should form a coalition, we should love one another. We should practice, circulating a dollar within our own community. You want to go and help and further the oppression. Now the Ku Klux Klan don't need to lynch y'all no more. They don't need to burn crosses on your lawn. Y'all niggas kill each other way more than they even did.
That's right.
You have an entire culture about murdering each other, literally. There is no other race or demographic of people on the planet Earth that have a culture dedicated toward the propagating of your own downfall. So now, that's why it says that in Deuteronomy 28 that he'll put a yoke of iron until he has destroyed you. You're so destroyed mentally, think about this. You're so destroyed mentally that they will drop off crates of guns and ammunition in your neighborhood. Now, why would they drop off crates of guns and ammunition in your neighborhood? Right. Because they know that you're not going to take those guns and use it on the people who put you on a slave ship. You're going to take those guns and use it to fight for your freedom. You're going to take those guns and use it to kill your own people. Now, how mentally destroyed do you have to destroy people to know that that's what they're going to do? They didn't take a chance to say, well, damn, they might take these guns and use them on us. They know that they're not going to do that. When the CIA in the 80s and the 70s was shipping heroin and cocaine and putting it in the black and Hispanic communities, they weren't afraid of you going across the railroad tracks and selling them damn drugs to Sally or Henry or Tom. They knew that you were going to sell them to each other, that you were going to kill and destroy each other. They knew you were going to do that. And that's why God has to plead our case, because nobody else will.
Right.
No one else, no nation, no country, no leader has ever spoken up and defended and then acted upon those statements in defense of so-called black and Hispanic people. Now people want to act like, oh, it's so wrong, we got a Black Lives Matter. Where were the Black Lives Mattering during the transatlantic slave trade? Huh? Where was the Hispanic Lives Mattering during the transatlantic slave trade? Where was that at? The entire planet Earth got rich off of our downfall, but then they want to act as if that didn't happen. And people want to act as if slavery, that was so long ago. Get over it. Slavery was only 150 years ago in the United States. That's not long. There are certain people that lived to like 110. So that means hypothetically, they could have had a father or mother or grandfather that was a slave. And what did those slaves get? They got nothing. What, 40 acres and a mule? They didn't even get 40 acres and a mule. They got the white man's ass to kiss. And that's all you got, man. And that's all you've gotten from this country. That's all you've gotten from your people, from these people, and your own people. So that's why God has to plead our cause, because nobody else will. Where you at? I told you to grab something, I know that. Give me Psalm 44 and 14. You got to wait quicker. Go ahead. 12 and 9 in the GNT. Go ahead.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 12 and verse 9. My chosen people.
It said God's chosen people. As we read these verses describing the conditions of the Israelites, you got to ask yourself, okay, well, who does this sound like is going through this? Of people that would be oppressed and not they wouldn't fight for their freedom, but they would sell each other out for some damn shoes. That's literally what it says in the Bible. Now, who else would do that? Huh? Go ahead.
My chosen people are like a bird attacked from all sides.
It says, my chosen people are like a bird attacked from all sides. Think about this. When you look at the history of Europe, the history of Europe is Germans fighting against the damn French. The British fighting against all different kinds of people in Nova Scotia, things of that nature. They were killing each other. But they put their differences aside to the degree that they built up their empire. That's why you got Spanish. That's why they speak Spanish in Mexico. That's why they speak Spanish in the Dominican Republic. They speak English in the United States. They speak English in Jamaica. They speak Portuguese in Brazil. Because despite the fact that they have a history of killing each other, they saw such a pristine opportunity to get their race and their people rich, and they said, you know what? We're going to put our differences aside. Let's go enslave and take and impoverish these black and Hispanic people. Right. They put their differences aside for centuries. You niggas can't put, family members can't even put their damn differences aside. How many family reunions you go to and your goddamn uncles drink too much damn old English and now they start fighting each other? Or somebody didn't write the right thing down on dominoes and now somebody's fighting. You can't even get niggas together at a damn family reunion. You're supposed to be family without a fight. Right. But Europeans can come together for the sole purpose of bettering their own people. Y'all just can't do that.
That's right.
And that's why this Bible says that a nation divided against itself shall not stand. And that's why everywhere from Raleigh to Durham to New York to LA, you live in the worst communities. Everywhere on the planet, you live in a ghetto. Everywhere you go, give me Psalm 44 and 14, they got a word to describe how you're a nigga. And these people in Japan, they haven't even seen a nigga before, but they know to call you one when they see you on TV. Then when they close their eyes and they think in their mind, what does a thug look like? What does a criminal look like? What does a drug dealer look like? What does a gangster look like? What's gonna pop in their head? Someone to look like you. And then when you close your mind, or when you close your eyes and in your mind you think of God, you see one of them. How crazy is that? So now what are you gonna do? How are you gonna view your own people when you look at God as the people that put you on a slave ship? And you look at a gangster and a criminal as someone that look just like you. It's nothing to kill a nigga in that day because he ain't nothing but a thug or a gangster. And then you can give all kind of reverence and worship to white people because you've been convinced that they're God. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 44, verse 14. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen.
It says you make us a byword among the heathen. That's what we are. We're a damn joke to everybody. Now we're a damn joke. And guess what? We've been acting like a joke. Because we have done nothing to help further our cause since we got here. What? Once you got equal rights? What equal rights? What was the civil rights movement about? Who can tell me? Who knows about, by a show of hands, who knows what Black Wall Street was? We all know about Black Wall Street. Now what caused Black Wall Street to fall? People say they burned it down. Guess what? They did burn it down. Do you know what happened after Black Wall Street got burnt down? People don't know about this. This is crazy. They rebuilt Black Wall Street and it flourished even greater than it did when it was alive or when it was there. Do you know what happened to Black Wall Street? Integration ruined it. So after integration took place, y'all can look it up, see if I'm alive. So after they rebuilt Black Wall Street, then the civil rights movement took place. And then we left Black Wall Street and we wanted to go to the white businesses. And now Black Wall Street, that whole area in Tulsa, Oklahoma, now it's a white community. That's what destroyed Black Wall Street, yourselves. Y'all destroyed Black Wall Street. Y'all allowed that because you want to go and love everybody. But nobody wants to love you. Who wants to? They love what we can offer them. They love us making music for them. They love us entertaining them. but they don't actually love us. They don't care about you. You're a commodity.
That's right.
That's why it's called chattel slavery. What is chattel? A cattle. You're a good. You're a commodity to be bought and sold. They invested in you on the damn stock market. That's what you are. You're just a possession to them. You're a thing to entertain them, to do things for them, to do whatever task they don't want to do. And then you want them to turn around and think that these people are going to love you? How backwards are you goddamn people, man? Right. They're such a 3/5 of a human being. You know what 3/5 is in decimal form? It's 60%. Do you know what an F is in class? 59% and below. So you're 1% away from failing at being a human being in the eyes of these people. When they said in the preamble of the Constitution, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. They weren't talking about you. They were talking about their own people. They didn't consider you a human being. They don't even think that you deserve life. They don't think you deserve happiness. They don't think you deserve anything, man. But you think these people are gonna love you, and you're worried about these people loving you? Why don't you worry about loving yourself, man? This is what's wrong with black and Hispanic people. Read that again.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 44, verse 14. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen.
You're a damn joke. That's why they make fun of you. That's why you got little Timmy on TikTok making fun about black people getting on songs, rapping along to the lyrics of us talking about killing each other on these songs. How they had Sexy Red go shake her damn ass on stage in front of a bunch of white people because she's a damn caricature. It's like a minstrel show. Let me ask y'all a question real quick. Right, real quick. Have you guys ever heard of white people getting on songs, on country music songs, for example, and talk about killing each other? No, they were talking about Asian people getting on songs, talking about killing each other. What about Arabs? Never? Have you heard about black people getting on songs and talking about killing each other? You haven't? You've never heard that. So you've never heard about gangster rap before? You never? Man, have you? Let's be honest, bro. Are y'all from here? Where are you from? UK. You're from the UK? You're from London? Okay, perfect, right? So in London, you never heard about black people that rap in London? No. You don't listen to rap? Okay. Now what do you think would happen if you had a son that was getting on songs and bragging about him killing other white people? Would you allow it? I think that's a problem, right? There are black people that get on songs and rap and talk about all the crimes that they commit and killing each other. It's a problem, isn't it? Something should be done about it, right? You wouldn't allow it, right? Okay, perfect. Let me ask you a funny question. What do you think should be done for all the riches that the British got off of enslaved people? Huh?
Give it back.
Give it back? That means you go broke, sir. You're willing to go broke? Sure? I call BS. I don't think so. I think it sounds good, but I think that if you were placed in similar circumstances as your ancestors, you would hesitate to commit with the same acts. I don't think you would hesitate at all. Right? And the only reason why they don't have you so-called black people enslaved right now is because the job's already done. They don't need to enslave you again. They already got the money. They already got the riches. He said, give it back. Yeah, right. You know what giving it back looks like? Giving it back means you got to go back to the damn holes in the caves of Europe. That's what that means. So it sounds good, but I don't believe it. Right? Anyway, back to the scripture. Go ahead. Psalm 44 and 14. They say give it back. It's all hugs and kisses, and we should give it back. We should do right. So why don't they do it then? Most white people are going to give that answer. I think we should give it back. I think it's wrong what's happening to these people. So what's being done about it? Where are these good white people? Where were they? You know what they always say when we talk about racism and the history of black and Hispanic people in this country? It was just a few. That's what they say. It was just a few bad white people. You can't paint us with a broad brush. That's not right. That's what they say, right? Do you know how much of a racist statement that is? Let's examine that. They say it was only a few bad white people that caused the downfall of a whole lot of black people and a whole lot of Hispanic people. So what you're saying is it only takes a few of y'all to take down all of us. That's what they're saying though when they say that. You see? But that's why we have to rely on God. Give me Isaiah 63 and start at verse 5 or 4 in the NLT. That's why we have to rely on God to give us justice. Because you guys won't give yourselves justice. You so-called black people don't want to give yourself justice. You will go back into slavery. You love being under the thumb and the rulers of Europeans in this country. How do I know it? Look at history. There's only isolated times about us fighting back. That's why we all know about them. Nat Turner. What else? Right. Where are the other ones? Because you're comfortable, man. You're a goddamn house servant, man. Go ahead. You got that, Isaiah? Start at verse, where we at? Start at verse 4. Watch this. The
Book of Isaiah, chapter 63, and verse 4.
Uh-huh.
For the time has come for me to avenge my people.
Read it again.
For the time has come for me to avenge my people.
This is what God says. People will say, well, vengeance is the Lord's. And guess what? You're right. Vengeance is the Lord's. But just how God took vengeance on Pharaoh and the Egyptians for what they did to our people back then, God's going to take vengeance on this country for what it's done to us. Because what the Egyptians did pales in comparison to what they did to us over here, man. When you think about the middle passage, people don't even know how graphic and how horrible slavery really was. If you understood just how horrific those events were, you would never say get over it. The middle passage is the Atlantic Ocean, the place in which was separated the western coast of Africa and the eastern coast of the United States. It's estimated that 2 million of us died just on the way over here, man. That means when somebody died, you died right on the bottom of that ship, chained down next to somebody. When somebody gave birth, they gave birth right chained down next to somebody. If somebody had to use the bathroom, you were chained down right next to somebody. Somebody threw up, they were chained right next to somebody, man. That's right. Somebody had to pee, they were right down next to somebody. 2 million of us died just on the way over here. That's an unforgivable act. We're talking about 2 million just on the way over here. We're not talking about what happened when we got here, how they separated families, sold the daughter to the highest bidder on that plantation, the son to the highest bidder on that plantation, how they would buck break slaves. We can go into just how truly graphic what happened to us is, and we're told to just get over it. And some of our own people just want to say, you know what, let's just move on. That's why God says the time has come for him to avenge his chosen people. That God himself has to step in and do something. That's how bad the condition of the Israelites are, so-called black and Hispanic people. It's so bad that God himself has to step in. That's how you know that we are the real Israelites described in the Bible. Because what happened in the 1940s, you had literally something called the Allied forces that during the events that took place towards Jewish people, they said that we can't let this happen. We're going to go liberate them from Auschwitz. We're going to go liberate them from all these internment camps that they're in. And then we're going to divide Israel in half and give it to them. And now Germany has to pay reparations to them. And the United States gives Israel billions of dollars annually. Where's the reparations for so-called black and Hispanic people? Where's the reciprocity? Where's the restitution that was given to us? Well, again, what, 40 acres and a mule? What'd they give you? How would they give you besides the ghettos with a goddamn liquor store in every corner? What do you have? What do you have to show for your effort in building up the most powerful empire the world's ever seen? What do you have? You have nothing. And you have nothing because you're okay with nothing. You're okay with having a damn ghetto and a liquor store next to it so you can buy some Hennessy, man. And you're all right with that. So you can scroll down Instagram and waste your life smoking Newports all day. Go ahead. White people weren't okay with that. That's why, think about the little island that has Spain on one side and Portugal on the other side. Those two little, that little island right there went and enslaved hundreds of millions of people to the point where now they don't even speak their own language. They weren't okay with that little island. They literally sailed across the planet Earth so they could secure a future for their children. And you guys won't do nothing for yours. What's going on, man? What's your nationality? Okay, I got a question. What's your nationality? I don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk about it? That's all right. Go ahead. Finish that out in Isaiah 63. But I guarantee you, see that white couple, I could have had them sitting here. They could have still been here. That white couple that I was just talking to, I could have had them here listening for an hour and a half. And I could have been calling them the devil the entire time. They would still sit here and listen. We come out here to tell black people and Hispanic people how great you are. You're the best people on the earth. God loves you. He sent Christ to die for you. And you want nothing to do with it. But we can call these people everything but a child of God. And sometimes we do it. And they'll sit here and they'll accept it and they'll agree with it. How crazy is that? That's how you know who God's chosen people are. Just stubborn rebels. That's how you know who the children of Israel are. Because what did Christ come to teach us? That we're great. That we're the salt of the whole human race. That's what Matthew 5:13 says. You're the salt of the earth. How much more nice can it get? You're the cream of the crop. You're the best people ever. And what they do, they picked up stones to kill them, man. That's us. We hate people that tell us the truth. That's why, you know what, you want to make an enemy out of a nigga, you tell him the goddamn truth. That's how you make it. If you got a friend, you want to test if he's really your friend, tell him a character flaw about himself. Tell him something about himself that he needs to change to make a positive improvement in his life. He's going to hate you. Oh, why you hating on me, bro? He's going to get mad that you're trying to correct him. Tell a so-called black or Hispanic person the truth and watch how angry they get at you. Watch how quickly they turn into your damn enemy. Keep going.
For the time has come for me to avenge my people, to ransom them from their oppressors.
God has to ransom his people from their oppressors. When you think about who's oppressed on the planet Earth, what comes to mind? When you think about a slavery, think about this, right? What's going on, bro? When you think about a slavery, what is the most famous enslavement? There's two of them in the history of the planet Earth. The most famous examples of people being enslaved on the planet Earth, there's two examples. Is the Egyptians when they enslaved the Israelites, and us getting enslaved. That's how you know who we are. That's why all over the planet Earth, when you go to Russia, you can go to Mongolia, you can go to some remote islands. What's the damn island where the Christian pastor was sent to, and he got the Senegalese islands. You can go all over the planet Earth, and when you ask somebody to think about what a slave looks like, they're going to point to you. Now, they may have never even seen one of our people in the flesh before. You go to Japan or China, they've never seen a black person in America. But yet, if you ask them to think about what a slave looks like, what's gonna pop into their mind? A so-called black person or a so-called Hispanic person. That's why God says the time is coming for him to ransom his people from their oppressors. Because we are still enslaved to this day. Don't you know the 13th Amendment, when they say abolish slavery? Here's what the 13th Amendment says. There shall be no slavery, no involuntary servitude. Right? The good old Abe Lincoln, he freed the slaves. Don't you know Abe Lincoln is quoted as saying that if he could save the Union without freeing the slaves, that he would do so? You think Abraham Lincoln cared about black people? The only reason the Emancipation Proclamation took place was because of him wanting to unite the Union and not have the Union go away. That's all. He didn't care about the prosperity of black people. He just wanted to unite the Union and make sure that the South wouldn't secede. That's all it was about, because the South they were adding states to the South, and they had increasing votes. And they want the South to secede. That's all it was about. He didn't care about you. But it goes on to say in the 13th Amendment, there should be no slavery nor involuntary servitude. People stop there. It goes on to say, unless for the punishment of a crime. Meaning, if they want to enslave you, all they got to do is put you in jail. Now, who fills up the prison system the most? So-called black people in the country, in the United States of America. So-called Hispanic people. When you look at the rates, the incarceration rate, it goes Native American, black, and Hispanic, in that order. Now, who are the Israelites? Native American, black, and Hispanic. Is that a coincidence? Give me Isaiah 42 and 22 in the NLT. You got it in the NLT? Now, let's see what the Bible says. This is how you know who the Israelites are. Watch this. Now, let's think about this. What people does this sound like? Who can tell me? Black people. Who can tell me who this sounds like? Isaiah 42 and 22 in the NLT. Read this.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and 22 in the NLT.
Someone tell me if I'm losing my mind. Who does this sound like? One second. I got to ask somebody, because maybe I'm losing my mind. How you doing, sis? Real quick, sister, let me ask you, let me read you one, no verse, no God, no time for God. So why should God make time for you? Why should he make time? I want to read you one verse from the Bible. I think that every white person will stop and listen to me, I guarantee it. If I say, sir, excuse me, can I read you a verse from the Bible? There you go. Oh, come on, man, I can't, no, that's funny and all. But you can go, it was a random, I'll say it now, I was thinking rhetorical. But I could do that 100 times over without fail. I know I could. And we're trying to get our people to listen to just one Bible verse. And what are we sitting here saying? You're the best. We love you. You're the greatest. You're beautiful. Just keep God's commandments. Don't eat pork. Don't eat shrimp. Wear fringes. Don't hate each other. Have a good day. That's it. It'll take 30 seconds. I want to read you one Bible verse. One. And you don't have time for that. I always think that every single white person that we ask, they have time for it.
That's right.
You don't have time to talk about the problems that have been affecting your community and the solutions for them. That's why you're still on the bottom, you big dummy. Go ahead.
This is the book of
Let's see,
Isaiah.
what's second, sister? Can I read you one verse in the Bible? Just one verse. Just one verse. Y'all got time for God. I know y'all do. Just one verse? No? When is the last time you saw young black and Hispanic men united teaching the Bible to them? But that's wonderful. It's wonderful. Isn't this something that you should be dreaming about? This should be their dream, is to see young brothers from different walks of life coming together, not selling drugs, not rapping, not saying there's a problem, not rapping about killing each other, not shucking and jiving, trying to teach our people the Bible, and you don't have time for that? How crazy is that, man? Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and 22 in the NLT.
This is in the Bible. I didn't make this up. Let me ask you real quick, sir. Can I ask you a question? Excuse me, sir. Okay, that's one. Maybe you didn't hear me. Isaiah 42 and 22. Watch this.
But his own people have been robbed and plundered.
It said God's own people have been robbed and plundered. How you doing, my brother? Let me read you one verse in the Bible. This won't take long, I promise. One verse. You got time. When I read this, bro, I want you to tell me. You're not in no rush. You got it. No, you don't. You just saying you got to. No, you don't. But you got to go. You ain't going nowhere. We got to go. That's all right. Go ahead. I'm going to have somebody explain this. Somebody's going to. How you doing, sis? Real quick, I promise you this won't take long. I just got one verse in the Bible. Sis, you got time for God. I know you do. You got time for one verse. Beautiful. Okay, let's get this situation. Now, we're not going to make it into the big thing. Now, listen to this, sister. Just listen. When I read this verse to you in the Bible, I want you to tell me what people does it sound like it's being described. Can you do that for me? I appreciate you. So watch this.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, and verse 22 in the NLT. But his own people have been robbed and plundered.
There's been a people have been robbed and plundered.
Enslaved. In prison.
Put in prison.
And trapped.
And put in a trap.
They are fair game for anyone.
They're fair game for everybody else.
And have no one to protect them.
No one protects them.
No one to take them back home.
What does that sound like? That sounds a whole lot like us, right? Now, the reason why I bring that out is because this verse right here is describing the Israelites in the Bible. You heard about them before? The Israelites, like Jesus Christ, he was an Israelite. And what did he look like? He looked like one of us. So we're talking about the sufferings of our people right now and the reason behind it. And how we know that this book, sister, is written about us. And all we got to do to please God and get out of the ghetto and out of the slums is keep God's commandments and love each other. That's all we got to do. Because black people have a problem with hating each other. They don't hate nobody else, but they hate each other. When you listen to drill music, who make drill music, sis? Who make drill music? Songs about killing each other. That's us. What, have you ever heard an Asian get on a song and talk about killing another Asian? Never. Have you heard an Asian get on a song and degrade an Asian woman? But you hear a black man get on a song and talk about killing other black people, degrading black women, rap about selling drugs to black people. That's a problem. So we're addressing these problems and we're telling, let's be short, I'm done with this. All we got to do is keep God's commandments, look into the Hebrew Israelite system, and just keep doing research. All praise. Thank you, sister. I appreciate it. It's just that simple. We're not trying to sell nobody nothing. This is free of charge. We're trying to tell people, our people, the plight of our conditions and how we can escape those. Now you would think that would be a natural thing. Okay, how can we get out of this problem? All we got to do is these very basic things. Okay, sign me up. But nobody wants anything to do with it. How do you read that verse and not go, wow, I don't understand that, bro? That's one of the craziest verses in the entire Bible to me. It perfectly, with 100% pinpoint accuracy, describes the condition of black and Hispanic people. People who have been robbed and plundered. They've been robbed. Let's think about it. Okay, who was the richest human being in the history of the planet Earth? What did they say? They say Mansa Musa was the richest human being ever. Now, Mansa Musa was a king of the Mali Empire. The Mali Empire there's still a Mali right now in West Africa. You know when Mansa Musa was a king? Around the late 1300s, early 1400s. What happened in between that time period until now that makes Mali not a rich country anymore, but now a third world country? They were robbed. They were literally, their people were robbed. Their goods were robbed. They still go to Africa right now and steal damn gold and steal different irons and minerals and resources. People have been robbed and plundered, enslaved and imprisoned. Who else is that talking about, man? Someone explain to me who else that's talking about. I'm begging you. Someone tell me. What you got? You got anything? Go ahead. Oh, go to Isaiah 3. Let's finish that.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 63, in verse 5. I was amazed to see that no one intervened to help the oppressed.
This is what God is saying. We hear this? God is looking down on the plight and the conditions of black and Hispanic people. And he's saying, I was amazed to see that no one intervened to help the oppressed. Has anybody intervened to help so-called black and Hispanic people? What if they love us so much and they're so remorseful over what happened? Why was there not one country that said, you know what, we can't allow you to do this to these people? Where were these good guys at to say, you know what, this is unacceptable? Because during the 1940s, when the Nazis were going around and killing Jewish people, there were countries that said, we cannot allow this. This is the worst crimes against humanity. We will not stand for it. Not only will we not stand for it, but we will send troops to go fight and potentially die so that these people can be saved and liberated. Where was that for so-called black and Hispanic people? Where was that for the transatlantic slave trade? Where were the Chinese during that time? Where were they when they said, this is unacceptable, we can't allow this? They were nowhere to be found. They helped partly, I'm sure there were some slaves being sold in the goddamn Silk Road. There was no one that intervened to help the oppressed. This is what God is saying. Read it again.
I was amazed to see that no one intervened to help the oppressed.
God is saying, I look down and look at this. Look at all the crimes against so-called black and Hispanic people. How they would cut open our pregnant mother's wombs, take the child and kill it. Look at that. There's still sharks. We ever heard that certain sharks still follow the pattern of the slave boats? Because whenever one of us would jump off or one of us would get thrown overboard, they would go and have a bunch of food. Can you think about how many had to die for them, the descendants of those sharks, to still instinctively follow that pattern? You know how insane that is? You know how much death has to take place and how cruel that is? That's some of the most unusual crimes against anybody that the world's ever seen, man. We've never seen anything like that. You weren't even allowed to read. Where do we see that in human history? These people were not allowed to speak their native tongue. They were not allowed to read. They bred us like animals. Huh? Like, where do we see this? This is the most insane, horrific events that have ever taken place to a people, and no one did anything about it. No one. Not anybody. No country, no foreign government said this is unacceptable. We will not allow this. We have to do the right thing. We got to save these people. Don't you know God is watching? There was no conviction in their heart that said we can't allow this. Didn't Martin Luther King Jr. say, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere?
That's right.
Huh? Where was that? Where was this moral conviction from all these good people that said this is not okay?
That's right.
Huh? Where was this at? They don't care about you. They only got a conviction now because they already got filthy rich off of it, man. They don't care. If they were placed in similar circumstances where they wanted to build another empire, who do you think they're going to use to build up the empire? They're going to do themselves? They're going to use you again. Read it again.
I got Isaiah chapter 63 verse 5. So I was amazed to see that no one intervened to help the oppressed.
God said, I was amazed. Now, how crazy you got to do a people to where God himself is amazed? God himself is shocked. Damn. No one's going to help these people. He's sitting back and he's even shocked. We're talking about a God who split the Red Sea. We're talking about a God in the book of Joshua who stopped time, who flooded the planet Earth. That God sits back and says, what the hell, y'all? Y'all really going to let this happen? All the miraculous things God has done, and they still find a way, these people, to amaze him. Go ahead.
So I myself stepped in to save them.
See that? It's such a dire situation that God's people would be in that God himself has to do something about it. Because nobody else will. God himself, and that's how, because look at the people right now. What people on the earth are in such a bad state that God himself has to save them? Are Chinese people in a bad state to where God has to save them? Are white people in a state that God has to save them? Are Indian people? I can go all through the list of all these people. But look at the conditions of black people in this country. Look at the conditions of Hispanic people. We're in big trouble. More than half of us grow up in a single-parent household. More than half, the majority of us grow up in a single-parent household. And statistics show how negative that is for a child. Most of us, we have the highest illiteracy rates. So we grow up without our father. Most of us can't read. If you can read, I doubt most of y'all have reading comprehension. You have the worst public education. You go to jail at the highest rate. You kill each other at the highest rate. You got drugs infected in your community. You got a culture that propagates whoredom and murder. You're in a really bad condition right now. And if anybody were to sit back and look at the conditions of black people, you would ask yourself, well, how the hell are they going to get out of this? The only answer is God. Because we tried everything. You have black people that fought in the Civil War for the Confederates. We fought in Vietnam. We fought in World War I. We fought in World War II. We fought in Korea. We fought in Desert Storm. We've been tax-paying, good, hard-working Americans.
That's right.
What has it done for black people? What has it done for Hispanic people? We have bent over backwards for this country. We have done everything. We have spilled our blood for this country.
That's right.
We've gone over the world and killing innocent people in damn Iraq and Afghanistan for this country. And you came back and were still oppressed. And during the World War II, you went and fought against the damn Japanese and you fought against the Nazis. And you came back to this country and you were still treated as a third and fourth class citizen, man. You were still hung from trees and treated like a damn animal.
Right.
In a country that you fought for. In a country that you may have lost a limb for. That you might have PTSD over because of all the horrific stuff you saw in war. And what did this country get you? Huh? What did it give you? A damn Camaro? Huh? It gave you a cool little loan so you could buy a damn, a chicken shit house? Huh? That's what it got you? Well, it got you you got a new, what's it called? What's the Hellcat? You got a new Hellcat with a damn $1,000 a month car note so you can mess up your credit. That's what it got you? This country ain't giving you nothing, and guess what? It ain't supposed to. God is what we need to be searching for. You've been over backwards trying to get these people who've always hated you to love you. Why don't you start loving each other? Why don't you love God? Why don't you love yourself? Go ahead.
So I myself stepped in to save them with my strong arm, and my wrath sustained me. I crushed the nation.
What's God gonna do?
I crushed the nation.
See, because y'all are so docile and so pacified, you don't want proper vengeance. You don't want justice, so God has to give us justice. That's what the Messiah is coming back to do. Why does it say in one verse of Revelation that he's got a white garment on, and another verse say he got a red garment on? Because the Messiah is coming back to liberate his people. Don't you know, the Bible said that Christ is a prophet like Moses, right? That's what it says. It said Jesus Christ is a prophet like Moses. What did Moses do when he saw somebody oppressing one of his people?
Right.
And said he looked this way, he looked that way, and he killed the Egyptian and buried him in the sand.
That's right.
So what do you think Jesus Christ is coming back to do? He's not coming back to kill 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 Egyptians, man. Christ is coming back to shed a whole lot of people's blood for what they've done to his chosen people. What did Moses do? He had the most famous slave rebellion that the world has ever seen. And if you thought what Nat Turner did, if you thought what the Haitian Revolution was, if you thought that was bad, just wait till you see the return of the Messiah. He's getting ready to shed a whole lot more blood than that. Where we at? Give me Psalm 72:4. You have a precept? You have a precept? Give me Psalm 72:4. What you got? Precept. Go ahead.
The book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 1, verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
That's a righteous thing. But guess what? That's not going to take place until you so-called black and Hispanic people repent. Just look at the conditions you're in right now. You murder each other. You kill each other. You make songs about it. Give me Isaiah 59 in the NLT. Give me Isaiah 59 in the NLT. All these horrible acts of violence that you commit, you don't go do anything to the people who oppressed you and enslaved you. And I'm not advocating for any violence against anybody. But I'm saying, golly, man. You couldn't do something to them, at least? You're gonna kill somebody. I mean, what about the Ku Klux Klan? You can't do nothing to them? Why is George Zimmerman still breathing damn oxygen, huh? You niggas are so tough. I don't want to hear no more songs about how tough you niggas are. George Zimmerman's still alive, man. George Zimmerman still breathes air every single day. Do you think if George Zimmerman would have killed Habibi or Aladdin, that he would still be drawing breath to this very day? Huh? They would have been offed him. But he's still alive. Don't you know that he sold the gun that he used to kill Trayvon Martin and got hundreds of thousands of dollars off of it? Don't you know that he tried to turn around and sue Trayvon Martin's family? Do you know how much of an insult that is? How is that? That's an unforgivable act. He should be dead somewhere, man. But again, people only do to you what they believe that they can get away with. So guess what? He knew that when he killed Trayvon Martin that he was going to get away with it. Even when the police... Who remembers that phone call? Who remembers when he called the police? Remember? And they told him, stop following him. We don't need you to do that. He defied the police's orders, killed a young... How old is he? 15? That's a child, a baby. You're a goddamn baby at 15 years old. Killed him, got away with it, and got rich off of it. If he did that to any other group of people, man, he'd have been filleted like a fish. Man, you know what they'd have done? They'd have tarred and feathered him, threw him off a goddamn skyscraper. But when black and Hispanic people get murdered, guess what? Nothing happens to them. You will get in trouble for killing a police dog. You'll get in trouble more for killing a police dog than you will for killing a black or Hispanic person, man. And you want this same country that'll put you in prison for that, but won't put nobody in prison for harming you? You want that country to love you? Why don't you niggas start loving yourselves, man? Everybody else love themselves except for you. Go ahead. Psalm 59, and we'll start at verse 7.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 59, verse 7. Their feet run to do evil.
That's our people. Your feet run to do evil. What does it mean that you're running? You're not walking to do evil. I mean, you're rushing. You can't wait to do evil. You can't wake up to go sell drugs to your own people. You can't wake up to make a song about killing your own people. You can't wait to kill your own people. Go ahead. Hold on. Who remembers Young Thug made a song, and he literally said on the song, I shot at his mommy, now he don't mention me no more. He's talking about YFN Lucci's mother. He made a song about shooting at a nigga mama house. And we all just bat an eye. Free thugs. Free YSL. You're the same people that said, give us Barabbas, crucify Jesus. Y'all the same people, man. You're the same, give us damn Young Thug, crucify these people. Because anybody that tells you black people the truth, you hate it. You want them to be silenced. You want them shut down. You want them canceled. You want them killed. But anybody that's doing evil and telling you things that you want to hear, you love them. Go ahead. All right.
Their feet run to do evil, and they rush to commit murder.
That's you. You rush to commit murder. What's going on, brother? You had a question, King? Anybody? Somebody had a question? Yeah? What's the question, my brother? Just come a little closer, brother. We ain't gonna hurt you. I can't hear you from over there, brother. You gotta come closer.
Oh, I was trying to
sorry, I didn't know which way you were going.
You say what? You don't got no questions? Speak up a little bit. So why is it coming with a question? They just wanted to force you to ask a question. Yeah? You don't have no questions, brother? Okay. What's your nationality?
What's the game plan for getting felons back in the workforce?
You say, what's the game plan for what? Felons get back in the workforce?
What's the game plan for
The game plan for building black communities? Teach them the knowledge of self at all. Because think about this, brother. If I love my I got you. So check this out. Because the brother asked, what's the game plan for building black communities? We just got done making mention of Black Wall Street. The fall of Black Wall Street was not just white people burning it down. It got burned down, but then it got revitalized afterwards. The fall of Black Wall Street is because we wanted to integrate and not love each other and practice camaraderie and business with each other. The reason why is because we don't have a proper knowledge of self. If I love myself and I love my neighbor as myself, I'm not gonna want to go across the railroad tracks and go patron another nation or ethnicity's business. I'm gonna want to patronize my own business. So the answer to the brother's question is, we have to start loving each other and knowing how special we are. Because if I know how special I am, I'm gonna go, if a white person's selling a product and you're selling the same product, I'm not 100 times out of 100 gonna go to you. Because I know how special I am. I know how special you are. I love you like I love myself. So I'm gonna support you. The problem with so-called black people is you don't love each other. You don't love yourself. Give me 2 Maccabees 4:15. You want to love and go be like everyone else. Now watch this. Here's a scripture to more accurately answer the brother's question. How do we fix the black community in terms of supporting each other's business? We do the opposite of what we've been doing. What's the opposite of what we've been doing? What do? We go and kill a nigga for some damn Louis Vuitton. We go kill a nigga for some Christian Dior. We go kill a nigga for some Giuseppe, some Versace, some names of some homosexual white people that you don't even know what they look like. Can't even pronounce the name hardly. You'll go kill for them. You'll go pay $400 for some damn ugly ass Louis Vuitton shoes, but you won't support another brother's business. A brother sells some shoes. You'll come on, man. $100? That's pretty steep. You weren't saying that to the white man that was selling you a damn shirt. You weren't saying that to the white man selling you clothes. Right. Go ahead, watch the 2 Maccabees 4:15 to GNT. Watch this. Now again, as we've been reading, when you read these verses, there's no way that you can read these things and come to the conclusion that we are not God's chosen people. Who does this sound like right here? Someone tell me. 2 Maccabees 4:15. Watch this. I need everybody to listen to this one. Go ahead.
Look at 2 Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 15. They did not care about anything their ancestors had valued.
It says they didn't care about anything their ancestors had valued. That's us. We don't care about anything our ancestors valued. We don't value. Remember, there would be a point. At one time, we called each other terms of endearment, like, "Hey, brother. Hey, sister." You could go to your neighbor if you ever poured some damn milk for some cereal and you ain't poured enough, you ain't have enough. You could go knock on a brother's door and say, "Hey, brother, I need a little bit more milk. You got me?" Yes. "I need some toilet paper. You got me?" Yes. Right. Now, if you walk by a brother, you look at him. What's this nigga looking at, man? Right. Asian people don't do that. Where's the Asian people that's looking at? Chung Lee's looking at Sung Lao, and he says, "What is you looking at?" Huh? Then they want to squabble. Where's that at? Hey, hello. Or they have their hands, they're walking like this, bowing to each other. They can walk by us. You measure whether or not that brother's a threat or not. Go ahead.
They prized only Greek honor.
What does it say?
They prized only Greek honor.
So you don't value anything your ancestors valued. You prize only Greek honors. You prize only Versace. You prize Louis, Fendi, Prada. You prize white people's stuff. You don't patron your own businesses. Where's the black community at? Huh? What's in the black community? Tell me, what's in the black community? A gas station that's not owned by you. A liquor store that you don't run. A Chinese restaurant. A KFC. A Popeyes. None of those things you own. What do you have? A soul food restaurant, maybe? What's in the black community? A barbershop? That's about as far as it goes when it comes to the black-owned businesses. What, a salon? What is in the black community? Huh? Nothing of real substance and value. Go ahead. And why is that? Because niggas know that you're not going to support themselves. You're not going to support each other. Go ahead.
Verse 16.
Now watch this. It says they did not prize anything that their ancestors had valued. They prize only Greek honors. They prize only the honors and the possessions of their oppressors. And look what it says afterwards, everybody. Watch this.
And this turned out to be the source of all their trouble.
That turned out to be the source of all their trouble. For what?
For the very people whose ways they admired,
The very people whose ways they admired,
and whose customs they tried to
and
imitate,
whose customs they tried to imitate, the very people whose ways they admired. And they want to put a three-piece suit on, and they want to shave and look professional when they go to the business meeting, and when they go to the job interview, and they want to be a good American and celebrate the 4th of July and celebrate Thanksgiving. The very people whose ways they admire, they want to dress like them, they want to eat like them. The very people whose ways they admire and whose customs they tried to imitate, what they do?
became their enemies
Became their enemies.
and oppressed them.
Who else is that talking about, man? There'd be a people who would be oppressed, who would value not their own values, not the values of their ancestors, the values and customs of the people that oppressed them. They would admire them and want to be like them in all things. And those same people who they admire, who they have Stockholm syndrome against, became their enemies and oppressed them. That's the story of black and Hispanic people. You want these people to love you and you want to be like them so bad, and you want to go watch the damn Panther game and go watch the NC State game with them and go hold hands with them. Go marry one of their daughters. Be just like them. Go pray with them. Go sit down and hold hands as you say grace with them. And think, oh, Johnny's good. He's one of the good ones. He's not racist. He don't got a racist bone in his body. Became your enemy and oppressed you.
That's right.
Every single time. It never fails. So in order for us to get out of these conditions, the answer is very simple. What you need to do is love God, love yourself, and love the Messiah, and keep God's commandments. And it's not hard. That's when the Bible says His commandments are not grievous. It's not hard, man. What? Don't eat shrimp, don't eat crab, wear fringes, don't be gay. Done. Pretty simple, right? Don't be an adulterer. How hard is that? Go ahead. But nowadays, it's like half of black men are either gay or a rapper. So you gotta look at a nigga. If you ask him if he's gay, he says no, okay, then you're a rapper. You ask him if he's a rapper, oh, you gotta look at him. Are you gay? Half these niggas are feminine, damn scammers and rappers, man. Tell me I'm lying. When did black people start popping Percocets and nodding off and stuff like that? This new generation of black people is scary, man. I'm talking about they're doing the drugs that white people are doing. We knew a Percocet, popping a perk, black. Man, that's for white people. Adderall, Oxycontin, that's for them. You got a nigga nodding off, looking like a goddamn zombie, man. I thought at least niggas who smoked weed and drank a little bit. Maybe you had some codeine, some syrup. That's about as far as most of us. You niggas is just perks? Perky-erkies? Where are we at?
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Here's the conclusion of everything that we're saying. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Fear God and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
And it's not that difficult, man. All you so-called black and Hispanic people have to do to get back on the pedestal in which you belong is love the Most High. Love yourself. Love your people. Keep God's commandments and faith in the Messiah, and He's going to send the Messiah to liberate you, just like He sent Moses to save His people. But these things won't take place until you are sealed, until you keep God's commandments, until you're worth saving. Because right now, y'all niggas ain't worth saving. You don't act like God's chosen people right now. You act like a bunch of damn hooligans. You get on songs about having a switch. Who's ever heard they spin again? I'm going to shoot this block up and spin again. And half of you niggas, 90% of y'all ain't even been to a gun range. That's why when you have a switch that goes, who's ever seen a switch get shot? I'm talking about it's 30 damn, it depends on how large the magazine is, you might have 50 bullets that get emptied out in a matter of seconds. And you're doing like this. You're not aiming and shooting. You don't get down and line everything up. You're just pointing, aiming, and shooting and killing all kind of innocent people, man. Right. And you don't care. And then you go on songs about smoking on this person, smoking on that person. And that's why the whole world make fun of you. That's why you're a joke all over the place. And you're going to continue to be a joke until you start being a man. And that's what it starts, until you start providing for your children, until you start being a good husband, until you start being a good son of the Most High. And that starts with knowing who you are and keeping God's commandments. And with that, I want to give all praise to YAHAWAH'S, and say shalom. All right.